have a bunch of clients that have shared with me very similar stories, very similar experiences, all around the skill set of impulse controls. Impulse control and emotional intelligence, it lives in the decision-making realm. And basically what it is, it's our ability to resist temptation, our ability to resist rash decision-making. And it is that balance between the appropriate amount of time to objectively get logic, inspiration, data, collaboration, get all of that packaged up, and then not leap to decisions that end up being poor. Because in effect, what they share as a similarity is that they hear back quite frequently, "I told you so." And so in our discussions, we often talk about, well, what's the emotional driver behind impulse control? What's the emotional driver when you can't resist the temptation, when you need to say something, when you interrupt, when you must make a decision right now? What's the emotional driver? And the theme that has come up time and again with clients is, I need to be right. I'm not worthy if I don't know the answer. I'm not good enough if people can't count on me in the moment to have exactly what it is that they need. And in our discussion, what we end up exploring is underneath those emotions are our associations with being right, being worthy, being enough, and what our expectations are related to leadership, what leaders are supposed to do, what contributors are supposed to be doing, the shoulds, the shouldn't, all of that kind of language and association that often then emotionally drives us to do things that end up in the haha, I told you so moment. And as we explore, what ends up coming out the other end are exercises in emotional intelligence skills. Yes, on impulse control, but also in the supporting players to impulse control. And one of those is assertiveness. But another one, even more impactful, is our emotional self-awareness and our emotional expression. Combining these three skills together leads us into being able to be emotionally aware of the driver, regulate that emotion, express it at the front end of what we are about to say, and then assert ourselves. And in assertion, basically we're setting boundaries, asking for time, letting the individual know like our beliefs, our experiences, what our thought process is, so that we can avoid the impulse control. We can avoid the train wreck of what ends up being giving into temptation, making rash decisions, and then watching the catastrophic accident occur in front of you. So what do I want to leave you with? Well, in emotional intelligence, impulse control can also show up in interrupting people, and it can show up in withholding for a really long period of time. So assessing, where do you sit on that teeter-totter for impulse control? Are you balanced in the middle, or do you tip one way or the other? And in most cases, it's that, well, sometimes I'm balanced and sometimes I tip one way or the other. And that's what we want to explore is, when do you tip? What are your triggers that cause your impulse control to go haywire?